January 26 is Australia Day, and to celebrate I'm doing something quintessentially Australian with an Australian flavour that pretty much doesn't compare to anything else in the world. Let's make some cheesy Vegemite scrolls on the One Pot Chef. Cheesy Vegemite scrolls. Honestly, Vegemite, you couldn't get much more Australian than that. Now today I'm going to do this with some pre-made puff pastry, which I've just taken out of the freezer and thawed. But of course, if you wanted to make it more of a bready type one, you can use the same recipe that I use for the cheesy pizza scrolls. You'll find it in the snacks and side dishes playlist on my channel page. But today we're just going to use the puff pastry. So it's just a piece of puff pastry and it's defrosted. And we're going to take some Vegemite and we're just going to spread a thin layer over the surface of the pastry. When doing anything with Vegemite, just try to think of it as makeup. Less is more, because doing a really thick layer, like if you were using, say, peanut butter or jam or Nutella or something like that, it's not good. It doesn't work. It ends up being way too powerful a flavour. But as you can see, I've just spread this over the surface, but I've left that little gap at the side there. That's just where we're going to end up wrapping up at the end. So just leave that little sort of 1 centimetre, half-inch bit at the edge there. Next we're adding on our cheese. Now this is just grated tasty cheese or cheddar cheese. You could use any cheese you like, and just basically putting on about a cup's worth and just tossing it over the surface here. Don't have to be too neat about it. Now here comes the tricky bit. We're just going to fold this up or wrap it up. Now I've got the plastic backing still on this. It does help a little bit if you leave the plastic on initially. So we're just going to roll that first bit over there like that. We're not going to do this too tightly because we want to leave some space for the pastry to expand. So don't be too sort of keen to get it really, really tightly scrolled up. Just gently roll it over like so. Now I'm going to cut this into 8 even pieces, and the easiest way to do that is to simply slice it in half, and you've got 2 logs, and you cut each one in half again, so you've got 4, and then we just cut each piece in half again, and you'll have 8 nice even pieces. I've transferred the scrolls onto a baking tray lined with some non-stick baking paper. Put a little bit of space between them so they don't get too crowded. These are ready to go into the oven. Preheated oven, 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and the pastry is puffed up and gone lovely and golden. Our cheesy Vegemite scrolls have come out of the oven and they're smelling absolutely astonishing. We're just going to allow them to cool on the tray for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be ready to serve. Our cheese and Vegemite scrolls are looking absolutely gorgeous, and I just can't wait to dive in and have a taste. Mmm. Yum. Vegemite and cheese just go so well together. It's a beautiful combination of flavours. You've got that lovely soft puff pastry, and it's also buttery and cheesy, and you've got that beautiful Vegemite flavour just infused into everything. But of course you can always change it for something else if you don't have Vegemite or you can't get it where you live. You could use chutney, you could use mustard, you could use tomato sauce or ketchup, barbecue sauce, a spaghetti sauce. Honestly, the options are limitless. You can come up with all sorts of different savoury ideas for this. So give it a go. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at OnePotChefShow.com. And until next time, see you later. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say Happy Australia Day to all my fellow Australians, whether you're in Australia or overseas. I hope you have a fantastic day. Have yourself a barbecue, have a few drinks. Hope you have a great day. All right, guys, see you later.